This evening, TUCVILLE woman loses husband and home in the span of 4 weeks. IRO hosts Harmony Day concert. Family squabble in ESSEQUIBO leaves 1 dead. In the region, Jamaican member of parliament reportedly stabbed to death. And internationally, 1 year of rain in 1 week causes massive flooding in Australia. Greetings to our viewers in Guyana and around the world. Today is Monday, February the 4th, 2019, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Good news for drivers. Starting today, a trip to the fuel pump is now a little bit cheaper thanks to recent regional developments. The Ministry of Finance and the Guyana Oil Company have announced a reduction in motor gasoline and gas oil prices. Super 95 gasoline will be sold wholesale at $208 per liter and gas oil at $207 per liter. This is a reduction of 4% and 10% respectively. Retail customers will pay $218 per liter for Super 95 gasoline, or 4% less, and $217 per liter for gas oil, or 10% less. Guyana's primary fuel supplier is the Trinidadian state oil company Petrotrin. Following last year's closure of Petrotrin's oil refinery, the government of Guyana approached CARICOM for the suspension of the common external tariff. The regional body's approval of the suspension has contributed to the reduced acquisition costs, which translates to reduced prices for consumers. An argument between two relatives over a cell phone reportedly turned deadly over the weekend. Here's Esther Sobers with more.
A family in ESSEQUIBO was rocked by tragedy after a squabble turned into bloodshed. 39-year-old Lulrick Discosta from Somerset, ESSEQUIBO Coast was allegedly stabbed early Sunday morning after an argument with his nephew, Terence DaCosta. According to the police, the stabbing occurred at around 1:30 a.m. at Ulrich's residence. It was during the argument that Ulrich reportedly attacked Terence, and in retaliation, Terence allegedly stabbed Ulrich in his abdomen. Ulrich was later taken to the charity hospital but later died. However, the police were able to apprehend the suspect. The murder weapon was also found. A post-mortem is expected to be conducted soon on the Costa's body. For Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Last week, the United Nations Resident Coordinator Mikiko Tanaka called on the government to uphold the Constitution. Tanaka reportedly said this is in relation to the acting Chief Justice's ruling on the no-confidence motion. However, over the weekend, Minister of State Joseph Harmon declared the UN rep's position as, quote, premature. Following this development on Sunday, the delegation of the European Union to Guyana also shared its position in a statement issued on Monday morning. The release is as follows, quote, "The delegation of the European Union in Guyana continues to closely follow the developments after the no-confidence vote in the National Assembly on the 21st of December 2018. The delegation of the European Union calls on all concerned bodies and stakeholders to uphold the Constitution, respecting democratic procedures and the rule of law. Procedures should be managed effectively with openness and transparency. In this regard, the delegation of the European Union welcomes the expeditious handling of the related court cases so far and hopes that the future legal process can be expedited for the benefit of Guyana, its people, and its development in view of pending foreign direct investments. The delegation of the European Union looks forward to free and fair elections being held as appropriate and in line with all constitutional provisions." Thus far, the government has yet to comment on the European Union statement. Don't go away. Coming up after the break. TUCVILLE woman loses husband and home in the span of 4 weeks. And IRO's Harmony Week continues. But first, here are today's foreign currency exchange rates. For the latest in news from Guyana, the region, and beyond, visit our website, HeadlineNewsGuyana.com.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride taxi service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go. Welcome back. Tragedy struck twice this year for 33-year-old TUCVILLE resident Tanya George. Her home had burned down just 1 day shy of the 1-month anniversary of her husband's untimely death. Bibi Bacchus spoke to the widow to ask how persons can be of assistance.
One TUCVILLE woman is currently coping with the loss of her husband and her home in the span of 4 weeks. On Sunday morning, a fire destroyed the home of 33-year-old Tanya George. The fire reportedly started in a bedroom in the apartment George and her 4 children occupied.
I heard was like a tumbling, and I asked my daughter to see what's going on outside. And when she went to the door, I heard a squealing, and I ran out. The guy said, "Everybody get out, the place on fire." So I went back into the room and I grabbed my granddaughter because she was in there with me. I grabbed her and I ran out. I reached outside and all I see was flames up in the upper flats.
The Guyana Fire Service's prompt response, along with the assistance of the Guyana Prison Service's fire tender, prevented the blaze from spreading, but not before 2 adjoining apartments were damaged. No one was injured, however, several persons have been rendered homeless. This is the second tragedy the George family has had to cope with for 2019. Mrs. George lost her husband and breadwinner just a few short weeks ago.
Today is just 1 month. 1 month since I've lost my husband, and I haven't slept last night. My head is bursting open right now. It's not okay.
After 2 tragedies shattered their lives, the George family is hoping that the public will help them to pick up the pieces.
My mom for now, but it's my mom, but I cannot stay there forever, so I would be needing somewhere of my own to be because I have kids too. So if anybody in ministry and warehousing, whoever can assist me with that would be okay.
If you would like to assist Mrs. Tonya George and her family, please contact her on telephone number 644-4124. Headline News, Bibi Bacchus.
Thanks, Bibi. Mrs. George also takes care of her 1-year-old grandchild. As such, diapers, formula, and baby clothes are among some of the family's most immediate needs. Again, if you would like to assist the family during this trying time, please call Tanya George at telephone number 592-644-4124. A 38-year-old Guyanese football player died mid-game in Barbados over the weekend. Miguel Nurse, a member of the Caribbean United Masters football team, collapsed 5 minutes into a match against Weymouth, Wales at the Barbados Lumber Company's Waterford Street Michael Ground on Saturday night. According to reports, emergency personnel attempted to perform CPR. However, it is understood that Nurse passed away en route to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital and was pronounced dead on arrival. The match was abandoned, as well as games scheduled for the night. The interreligious organization's Harmony Week continues with the annual Harmony Concert over the weekend. Wendell Jeffrey tells us that it was a great event for the whole family.
In this country, there's great hope. I feel like there's such an expectation and good things will happen in this country. So I'm honored to be here. Thank you, my dear friend, and God bless you all.
That was Dr. Clyde Rivers of the World Civility Day Organization, and he opened the annual Harmony Week Interreligious Concert at the National Library over the weekend. The first week in February is designated by the United Nations as World Interfaith Harmony Week. 10 years ago, Ghana joined 29 other countries in that United Nations resolution. The week is celebrated by several activities, including a state breakfast, an interfaith concert, and several panel discussions on the role and purpose of religion. Next up at the concert were the folks representing the Baha'i faith, and they had the audience singing along with them.
We've got to get together. It really will be fun. When the white man and the black man and the young man and the brown man and the red man and the rich man and the poor man and the middle class man get together and become one family. Oh, the Russian and the Chinaman and the Egyptian and the Frenchman and the American and the Eskimo and the Indian and the African. What a beautiful world it's going to be. Bring the white man and the black man and the young man and the brown man and the red man and the rich man and the poor man and the middle class man get together and become one family.
There were presentations also from the Muslims and the Rastafarians.
My name is Islam, the root word of peace, salam, or even salima, meaning submission. I tell you not to smoke and not to drink, to stay clean and take showers so you simply don't stink. I tell you to care for animals and treat them with care. So yes, I'm against animal testing and abuse in case you weren't aware.
Imam Ali says, prohibiting oneself from desire is the greater jihad. Prophet Solomon said, someone who prevails over his desires is stronger than he who captures a city by himself.
I know them know, but them don't care. Not even with the rest now they come here. Only if them have yet they won't share. It's just hungry belly they around here. And though this world filled with water and land, people still in a starvation.
Chairman of the interreligious organization, Pastor Ronald McGarrell, brought some words of peace and harmony.
We would like to bequeath to our children and our children's children an ideal nation. So that maybe in 100 years from now, or in 200 years from now, or 300 years from now, our children and our children's children will be able to look back at this particular time, this 21st century, as the golden age.
Sharon Wooter, representing the Christian community, sang How Great Thou Art, and Maulana Tayyid Abidi said the closing prayers.
والحمد لله رب العالمين. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, Jamaican member of parliament reportedly stabbed to death, and 1 year of rain in 1 week causes massive flooding in Australia. But before that, here's this week's bridge attraction schedule.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go. Welcome back. Now we take a look at news from the region. Jamaican Member of Parliament Dr. Linvale Bloomfield was reportedly found stabbed to death over the weekend. TVJ Primetime News has that story.
Major crime investigators are combing a section of Paisley Gardens, Portland for clues following the death of Member of Parliament for Portland Eastern Dr. Linvale Bloomfield. His body was found this morning with stab wounds and the weapon used was found in the house. TVJ's Shamela Pullen reports.
A crowd converging, kept at a distance by the familiar yellow tape drawn at a crime scene. They were there as news filtered through that the body of Portland Eastern MP, Dr. Linvale Bloomfield, was found with stab wounds at his home in Paisley Gardens, Portland, minutes after 10 Saturday morning. TVJ News understands that Dr. Bloomfield's helper showed up for work and found the body in a corner of the bathroom. We were told the helper alerted the gardener and the neighbors, who called the police. A blood-stained blunt instrument was also found. According to police source, it appears there was a struggle between the attacker or attackers and Dr. Bloomfield. Friends and colleagues of Dr. Bloomfield are in shock and disbelief at the manner of his death.
Terrible, terrible for more than one reason. As a member of parliament and representing the country, to have somebody kill a member of parliament is something that we hardly have in this country. I don't know if we ever had it in recent history. It's bad for the parish, it's bad for the constituency, but more so it is really sad to lose anybody like that, and more so our member of parliament.
Counsel for the Port Antonio Division, Dexter Rowland, says he last spoke to Dr. Bloomfield Friday morning.
I was trying to call him back last night, maybe about 8:45. Called him about 3 times and didn't get him. This morning about 7 o'clock, I started to call him about another 3 or 4 times. I didn't get him. And when I was coming from Short Forest this morning, I look up at the surgery and didn't see his van there, so I was wondering and say, where Doc gone to? Then look a bit further down the road, I got a call that he was murdered.
Everybody who knows Dr. Bloomfield, remove politics, remove everything else, is a calm person that is, there's nobody that see Dr. Bloomfield that wouldn't like him, naturally just seeing him like that. And he's that type of person.
Okay.
So as a human being, I think he's a great human being. And this is something that I want the police to leave no stone unturned to find the perpetrator.
Meanwhile, head of the Area 2 Police Headquarters, Assistant Commissioner Albert Nelson, said the Major Investigation Division will lead the probe. Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
And in international news, the opening of the floodgates of the Ross River Dam in Queensland created what Australia's Weather Bureau called, quote, dangerous and high-velocity flows, end quote. With the dam at more than 300% capacity, engineers said they had no option. Downstream homes in the coastal city of Townsville are flooded, and more than 1,000 people have been moved to safety and been evacuated from their homes. In some parts of Townsville, saltwater crocodiles displaced by the floodwaters have been spotted, adding extra risk and danger. Al Jazeera's Bernard Smith reports.
Opening the floodgates of the Ross River Dam in Queensland created what Australia's Weather Bureau called dangerous and high-velocity flows. With the dam at more than 300% capacity, engineers said they had no option. Downstream, homes in the coastal city of Townsville are flooded, and more than 1,000 people have been moved to safety.
We've never seen a year's worth of rain in less than 7 days. You know, that's not exactly what we've planned for, and it really is new parameters that we're moving into.
Northern Australia is tropical and typically experiences heavy monsoon rains, but recent downpours are far in excess of the norm. In some parts of Townsville, saltwater crocodiles displaced by the floodwaters have been spotted, and there's more heavy rain on the way.
This monsoonal trough just doesn't want to seem to move much at all. There's going to be heavy rainfall over the next couple of days. There will also be damaging wind gusts and intense rainfall with significant flash floodings.
Australia's armed forces have been called in to help with what have been described as once-in-a-century floods. Some areas of Queensland are expected to get a year's worth of rain in just a week, and 20,000 homes are at risk of being submerged if the heavy rains continue. Bernard Smith, Al Jazeera.
Here's your 3-day weather forecast. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, headlinenewsguyana.com. You can also tune in 6:30 tomorrow morning for a rebroadcast and Tuesday evening at 7 for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from your newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your home, and do have a blessed evening.